all about funding education, it seems, this year. It drew out so many teachers and educators to run for office, and we have many of them running for office. You're a former teacher. Tell us how you feel about the state of education funding in Oklahoma.
Well, I adhere to the principle that a workman is worthy of their hire, and so I think teachers need to be paid adequately.
Merit?
I would be for some merit pay, yes. Of course, when I taught down in Texas, they had some merit pay, and the way they did it, it created more problems than solved problems, because you got to where teachers wouldn't share with other teachers because somebody might get their good idea and then they would get the merit pay next year and they wouldn't get it. So, you know, it's so easy to talk about teachers need a raise. You know, we need more transparency with the budget. We need to get it done earlier. Listen, if it were simple to do, it would have been done years before we ever got there. You know, so this is not an easy process. I agree wholeheartedly with Jason that too much of the money in education is not going to the student. And I also believe that who are the primary educators of students? It's not that teacher, although they are key in the education system. But the primary educator of a student is their parents. And we need to do everything we can to make sure that those parents have the freedom that they need to send their children to the school that they believe will give them the best education. And of course, I'm talking, we had the Henry Nicole Scholarship, and we tried to get, was it educational savings accounts? But there is an education establishment that does not want the system changed at all. As you heard, they don't even want more money going to the student. So it's hard to change the system. As far as a special session, you know, unless we have a plan before we go back there, it's a waste of the taxpayers' money. We don't want to make anybody look bad by going for 5 days and getting nothing done. So other states seem to be able to find a way to pay their teachers a little bit better. I will say, let me share this from personal experience. Yes, I was an educator here in Oklahoma before I was elected. And the first year that I was in the legislature, I went to the State Department of Education and asked, what would it cost? How could I get my education retirement switched over to the legislative retirement? And they sent me a letter, and it was going to be something like, and this just blew my mind, it's going to blow yours, was going to cost me up front $150,000 approximately, plus I never signed a contract for more than $39,000 when I worked in Oklahoma City. And I looked at that sheet of paper, and they had my total salary over $49,000. So I went up there and asked them primarily about, you know, the $150,000, that was just out of the question, but I wanted to know, where did they get $49,000 plus? And so they started naming all of these benefits that are not shown on the contract when a teacher signs. And so I personally think that we're not 49th in the nation because of that discrepancy. And we tried to get a bill passed this year, remember, that was going to require school districts to list on a teacher's contract all the benefits so a teacher could see their real, true, honest salary. And it was defeated. So this thing of teacher pay is not as cut and dry as everybody wants to make it sound. So it's nothing